My guest today has been at death's door twice. Once, at age 19, he overdosed on pills and the doctors gave him up for dead. But God had other plans. Then, many years later, he received a frightening and bleak diagnosis: liver cancer. Once again, the medical profession didn't hold out much hope his life would be spared. Once again, God intervened. Aldo Moller is here to tell his amazing story. Please welcome him today to 100 Huntley Street. Aldo, it is good to see you. So do take us back to that time when you were just a young man, 19 years old, and you overdosed on pills, and the doctors gave you up for dead.
Yes, it was everybody, when finishes high school, they like to throw out a party.
Well, this is in your native homeland, Chile.
In Chile, back in Chile. So we were celebrating, and I was at a party. It was probably Saturday night, and I just happened to go to a room where we were having the party, and somebody came to me and says, "Do you want to try this?" And they showed me a little with some pills inside, and I said, I never did, so why not? My first reaction says, yep. So I tried. He says, take it. I don't need. I have some other in my. So I took it, and I put 2 pills in my mouth and just went inside the room and continued the party. But I was expecting something special to happen in my body, so it did not happen. I went back to the room and I put 2 more in my tongue and went back to, and nothing happened again. I waited a few minutes and I thought, I will be flying or experience something supernatural. And then I went back to the room, took the whole 28 pills remaining in that thing. And after a few minutes into the party, I lost conscience. And then I found myself the following day laying down in a hospital floor. I didn't know where I was. I had no idea what happened in a span of 24 hours, maybe.
Well, the doctors were not very compassionate.
No, they
just mistook you for a drug addict, and literally, when you say you found yourself on the floor in a hospital room, you were on the floor.
On the floor. I mean, people probably in Canada cannot imagine a patient just let on the emergency, just laying down on the floor, concrete floor. So, and our time then was that people, the youth especially, that were having drugs or something like that, most of the people will say, hey, let it die. This is another drug addict that doesn't deserve to live, so just concentrate. So they laid me there on the floor. But really what happened that day is something that I only think that God intervened, because I had no way to defend myself. And then through my dad, the person that was at the emergency that day recognized my name, my family name, Moller. And in my hometown, there's only 2 families. So it's either son of this, which is my dad, Hugo, or it's the son of the, and look at the because in Chile we use 2 last names. So the first is Moller and the second is my mother's. And knowing that, he said, "Oh, is the son of my friend, and how is?" And he started asking questions when he came into the hospital and all of that, and he says, "No, we got a treatment." So they put me to the emergency. In a few hours, I was back in a bed, and they washed my stomach completely, and for many days, he says, "You can only drink milk because you have been poisoned." And it's just a miracle that you are back, because you were, the whole blood system just, we hope, will react. But
when you hear that it's a miracle that you're alive, what was it about that experience coming so close to death that made you decide to investigate, to see if there was something more than just this temporal existence?
Of course, as a young person, you're trying to find an answer for and you're looking for, you're constantly on the quest for happiness. You search for joy and to be, establish yourself. So you're inexperienced, and you try many things. And at that time, although I knew about God at home because my mom was Christian, but I decided to go other ways and try to find my own way. I tried many things, and I came to the conclusion that there wasn't anything that will make me happy. I was empty, absolutely, and I had to recognize when I came home at the end of the day or night, I didn't want to see anybody at home, so I will come late. I felt through the door when I went upstairs into my room that Mom, I didn't see her physically, but I could feel that she was at the other side of the door, just praying for his son.
Wow.
To find meaning.
You found everything in life to be meaningless until you decided to become a committed follower of Jesus, to follow Jesus, to follow his teachings. What difference did that make in a young man's life?
Well, to put it this way, before my experience, I didn't see anything bright in life. I didn't see, nothing will call my attention. I was in the search and for something that I didn't find. And when I decided to give my life, to surrender my life one night to Christ, I suddenly, after I stand up from the altar and I cry and I cry. I don't know how long I cried that night. I was emptying all my burdens. So all of a sudden I saw the flowers. I saw the beauty of the face of an elder people. I look at the children playing. Everything makes sense in life to me at that time. And I wanted to live 100%, and I wanted to share my experience with other people because it was life that came to me through my surrender to the name of Jesus.
When you surrender all, I want to fast forward the story to many years later when you would have to surrender everything, put everything into God's hands and trust him. Now, you were on a missions trip to Cuba, something that you do on a regular basis.
Yes.
You came back, you went into work, and then you became very, very ill. And I'll let you pick up the story from there. And I would ask, I sense that there's somebody who's watching this program today who's been given a hopeless prognosis from their doctor. But I want you to know with Jesus, there is always hope.
Yes.
Yours, Aldo, is a story of healing, and it's
hope.
a story of amazing hope.
Yes.
So tell us about when you became so sick.
I just came from the trip, and I've been healthy all my life. And all of a sudden, I told Zuli, I don't know what happened, but I don't feel like eating anything. And I let it go.
Suli's your wife.
Suli's my wife. And I let it go. She doesn't want me to tell my wife. She says, call me by my name. So that's when I said Suli. But I said, something is bothering me, and maybe it's something that I ate. So I let it go for about a week. But on Saturday morning that week, I was home, so we woke up late, and Engelbert, my son, I said, Daddy, what happened to you? And he looked very, very shocked. I said, nothing. I said, look at your face. And so I went to the mirror, into the washroom, and I looked at myself, and there I was, all jaundice, all very, like an Asian people, yellow, really.
I have a picture from that time. Here you are with your son, and there's nothing wrong with the picture on your television. That is actually your skin color. You can see how obviously jaundiced you are in that picture. And there's another picture that I want to show from that time where you are so obviously yellow and so obviously sick.
Absolutely.
So you go into the hospital and you find out it's the worst possible prognosis.
Yes.
You don't have to be a medical doctor to understand that when you have liver cancer, that is, well, it's a death sentence.
Yes, they were for 15 days actually trying to look for a confirmation of something. They put me through different tests, different exams. I would go to CAT scan, MRI, ultrasound, And every day was the same thing. And every morning the doctor would come to my room early in the morning and said, Mr. Moller, just wanted to let you know that everything, we're working on it, and we are really looking for something, but we have no definite answer for you. We are puzzled by your case. We don't know what it is, but, so I'll probably see you tomorrow. And that's all he tell me in the morning. And so I was there just waiting for something to happen. I wanted to, whether I was sick or I was going to be declared, ready to go. They will give me a green light. So, but I was hoping they will tell me something definitely. And when they were waiting for days and being there in the hospital, I was just felt that this wasn't really good. And finally, they call us. They told they told my wife. Doctor called her on her cell phone and says, Mrs. Moller, this is what it is, and you better be prepared. And then they went to my room and they said, this is what happened in your case, and it is, we have confirmed, we have the images, and it is cancer in your liver. And because of the location of the tumor, the doctor told me that I will not be neither a candidate for a transplant or a candidate for chemotherapy or radiation. So basically, I was there hopeless and just waiting for something.
The medical profession couldn't offer you anything but death.
Yes.
But there was something else going on. This is a calendar from a church in Cuba.
Yes.
And if you can see every single heading for the entire month says Aldo.
Yes.
That was the church's prayer life for this entire month.
I know.
They prayed for you every
single
day while you were going through this.
Yes, I guess they received an email or something, so they found out I was sick, and I just been with that church a few weeks earlier, that year, in 2004, and when they found out that Aldo is sick, they couldn't understand, they couldn't believe it. So, but they know something that they could do, and that's what they did. Pastor said, this is what we will do. And the whole month of January, the only reason that we will come to prayer will be that God will intervene in Aldo's life. And we will want him to come back and share that testimony with us here in our place. And they start praying for us.
Times like that, all you can do is completely trust God. So you trust him with your life, and you were prepared to die. Yes. But something inside of you told you, this is not my time.
Yes.
So you checked yourself out of the hospital.
On the 15th of December, after the doctor told my wife and myself about this situation, I decided to leave the hospital. It's something that I guess will not recommend to anybody, but that was the decision that I took based on my faith and my relationship with God. What I had experienced that day there was no hope. Science said this is the liver and this is almost finished. It's cancer. It's going to take his time, and basically you are gone. So I decided to leave the hospital, and I signed legal document, that I will waive the hospital of any responsibility if something would happen to me. I decided to go home and decided to trust absolutely and 100% in God. And I said, as a child, I learned the children's stories that I taught in Sunday school. Jesus loved the little children. I sang those songs. As a youth, when I was 20 years old, I gave my life to Christ and I decided to serve him. And I did not regret that decision one bit. And in spite of the struggle at the hospital with my health, that I've been always healthy, I said, Lord, this is the time for me to really trust who you are. I sing in church, I tell other people about you now. I'm going to decide, and I'm decided that I will trust 100% in you. And if something is going to happen in my life, you will receive the credit and the glory.
So you go through this time of prayer, this time of trusting, and you know that God is doing something.
Yes.
Now, you had to go back into the hospital. for another battery of tests, really
Yes.
many of the same tests that you had
Yes.
already have to confirm. Actually, I have a DVD. This is from St. Michael's Hospital.
Yes.
And this is the medical documentation. You've come with extensive medical documentation.